Hey there, this message is definitely for the parents who are following me on YouTube here or on Instagram or Facebook. I just came through a really interesting experience that brought up some anger for me, and I've definitely been moving through some repressed anger for the last few weeks, which has been beautiful to finally connect with and see the source of it and get to the root of it and just, turn that into love and turn that into goodness. But it really brought to light this last experience I just had just now of what the little ones in our life are going through when they're demonstrating anger over and over again. So if you have any children in your life that are demonstrating anger, I highly recommend you stop and look in at how often are they being told, whether at school or in the home or by their siblings or someone else in their life, that they can't. They can't do something. That's too big for them. They are not ready. And yet these little ones are holding the capacity and the vision and the desire to step into that. And oftentimes, because we're so busy, there's just no, you can't, and there's no explanation why they can't, or there's no help to really check in and see, are they ready for those things, or just even play off of their enthusiasm. That does so much to a soul and to the encouragement for what the child's wanting to share and express. It's really this expression that wants to come out, this desire to share something, to do something, to be something, to explore something. And so if there's anger coming up, I highly recommend you to stop and check in and see how often are they hearing I can't, because it's an interesting thing. I'm here at my parents', and I just shared this beautiful course that I'm really excited to share with the world. I shared it with them, the idea, and instantly I got this feedback. Well, I thought they just directed it straight to a very mundane job, and it has nothing to do with my soul's passion, and not even one bit of affirmation that they heard what I was saying, really. And something in me got really angry, and I was like, what the heck are you doing? And it just brought me back to childhood and emotions. I could see that's where this anger has started from. For one, not being allowed to be angry. Anger is a very normal emotion that we're entitled to as a human being and that we're going to feel. And to not make a child wrong for feeling angry is a very valuable lesson. Sure, we don't want to continue to perpetuate the anger and throw the anger in unnecessary ways and be hurtful to anyone, but anger is allowed. We need to start teaching children that anger is allowed and how to channel it properly. So one, there was anger that I was never allowed to be angry, I could see, and two, there was anger at never being seen and heard, and not being encouraged, in another way of saying it, not being encouraged for the things I wanted to bring through and the things that were my truth, my desire, my love. There's, I think that's one of the greatest gifts we have to bring to mankind here is our connection to our love, our connection to who and what we are. And that's so unique that, yes, you may not get what your child is pointing at and saying, but if there's any way that you can feel the feeling sense of what they're bringing forth and just connect to that instead and encourage that, that will do so much, even if it means that, no, they can't do that thing they want to do, but connect to the feeling sense of what they're bringing through and encourage that. Encourage them to connect to that, regardless of whether they can do this thing or not. So, again, recapping, if they are feeling angry, check in to hear how often, to see how often they're hearing, I can't, you're too small, that's not for you, that's not what we do. All these things of shutting down their expression and their emotion and their desire to be, to express, to play, to live, and to explore. And second, really learning to find a way to allow them to be angry and how to channel that properly and how to manage it properly as well. Super, super valuable points as they're going to come up. They're going to come up, and we learn our foundation for living between ages 0 to 7. And so it's so important to really help that child connect and find ways of being with themselves and being with their emotions at a young age, rather than, starting to repress and to stack things up one after another, and then, we wonder what's going on in adulthood at some point. And that's really what inspired me with these books in the first place. Not so much the anger, but the realization of witnessing everyone around me and my own self. All the struggles we're going through are typically things that we picked up in childhood and not been able to express, or where we haven't had our needs met, or, we were just unable to show up. And those are the things we came here to learn, so it's all perfect. But if there's any way to support a child more in their younger years by teaching them conscious awareness of their emotions and how to handle them, what an amazing tool, what an amazing gift to children that we can give them. So those are my tips for you today. I hope you're having an amazing time with your little ones, and I hope this helps.